Salutations, welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee and today I'll be telling you all my writing resolutions and goals for 2016. What needs to be mentioned is that I never made a NaNoWriMo wrap-up video, and at this point, the 2nd of January, it's not going to be happening, which I feel ashamed for, and that will most definitely be more of a priority next year. But for now, we're going to push that aside and talk about what I want to accomplish in terms of writing this year. My number one goal is to write every single day. I don't want to set a word count goal. I don't want to set a specific type of writing as a goal, but I truly just want to write every single day. Even if it's just a sentence, if it's a blog post, if it is a journal entry, if it is 5,000 words worth of prose or 2 poems in a day, I don't really care the quantity. I just want to write. In the year 2015, I filled a little more than 2 notebooks, and I wanted the same in 2016. Hell, I want to fill 4 notebooks in 2016. Maybe that should be more of my goal. Anyways, it's 3 in the morning. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. What I do know, despite my sleep deprivation, is that I know what I want, and that is to be a writer in any capacity I can be. I want to express my opinion, I want to share my thoughts, and I want to be heard. I want to hone in my craft, develop it, formulate it, find my voice, experiment with style and genre, and just be the best writer I can be and truly find my identity as a writer. Obviously, I'm a teenager. It's gonna change by next week, for goodness sakes, but I just want to spend the entire year 2016 embracing that and just saying to myself, you know writing is not the best career goal you could have. You know that there are more stable options. You know that there are easier options, but you also know that you love it, and there is nothing like talking about what you've just written to someone else and sharing what you've produced. And I just have to remember that throughout the entire year. In terms of specific writing goals, I would like to enter more writing competitions. In the year 2015, I entered 2 of them. I have no clue how I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna win anything or just never hear back from them. I don't know, but I just want to get my name out there and share my writing as much as possible. This is not so much of a resolution or a goal. It's really out of my control, but I'm gonna put it on the list anyway, and it's more of just a hope. And that is to get into at least one of the writing camps I'm applying to. I have around 3 or 4 that I have my eye on, ranging everywhere from 2 to 5 weeks. I have no clue if anything will pan out, if they think I'm good enough, or just whatever. But I'm going to submit my writing, fill out the applications, cross my fingers, and just see what happens, because the only way I can get better is by interacting with other writers and reading. So I'm just gonna do that. In terms of goals specific to Countdowns, which is the novel I wrote last year for NaNoWriMo, the number one thing I don't want to do is what I did with Reflective Parallels, which was write the 50,000 words in November, go crazy, and then not look at the document for the rest of the year. I took a huge break in the month of December and didn't really look at anything. Now I'm just gonna go back, and the thing is, writing 50,000 words does not mean that you have a full-length story. It means you have 50,000 words. But I know that I have to just look through everything and establish what I've written thus far. And my main goals are 3 actual just actions. The first being outline what I have so far and what I want to have happen. The second one is write the rest of what happens in Countdowns, all the missing scenes and parts and fragments that I obviously don't have. And the third goal is to revise it. This does not mean that I'm hoping for a polished draft by the end of 2016, but the number one thing I want is to have a finished draft. And just to say that I'm a teenager and I accomplished this. Maybe no one will ever see it. Maybe it will live on my computer hard drive forever. But I want to have done it because the more experience I have in this entire field, the better I will get. And self-improvement is literally the only thing I'm looking for in the whole sphere of writing in general. One of the specific genres I want to explore more in 2016 is creative nonfiction. In the tail end of 2015, I wrote this essay called A Deep Cleaning. Shout out to Alex from the Books Buzz for that amazing title. I entered it in one of the writing competitions I mentioned, and whether that pans out or not, I truly do want to just delve deeper into what has happened to me in my life, what I've experienced, and what I've done, because I've had friends tell me so often that my life literally sounds like a young adult novel, and I honestly want to explore more of that. And I have found that writing about myself and what's happened is extremely therapeutic, and even if it's not for anyone else, I want to just analyze what's happened to me, relive it, rehash it, and just discover what I did wrong and what I did right. My last goal that I have that is writing related is to Win NaNoWriMo for the third year in a row. I think I can do it. Obviously, every single year is a different situation in terms of my emotional, physical, mental state, as well as everything going on in school and sports and life around me. But I truly do want to participate in the November NaNoWriMo again. I did it in 2014 with a parallel universe story called Reflective Parallels. Yes, it is such a creative title. And I did it in 2015 with a multi-point of view novel called Countdown. All I'm going to tell you about that one basically for now is that there are prosthetics, there's reality TV, and there is a lot of existential drama. There are two story ideas that I discussed briefly in my last Am Writing update. The first one, still temporarily named The Humans. We're focusing on these beings that are sort of zombie-like, sort of just paranormal, undead, that are sort of coexisting with the rest of our society, and I truly do want to see where that idea goes. The second also having the same terrible temporary title, and that is Untitled Dragon Story, where I focus on a pair of twins, sort of a on-purpose separated from birth situation, where one of them takes on more of the European aspects of dragons, the other takes on more of the Asian, and it's just about the political intrigue and the way their society works. Tell me in the comments below what you want to achieve in terms of writing, if you just want to write every day, if you want to finally write your novel, whatever it is, tell me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to get more inspiration. Tell me about your tips and your tricks and goals for productivity, because God knows I need it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Keep calm, read on, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. If you enjoyed this video and like to see more like it, give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below. If you liked it even more, hit the subscribe button. All my social media is at SLSBooks, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, etc., and my previous videos are below me.